This is Darshana Gauchan with your B2B Cambodia Market update for October 13th, 2025. The Cambodia Securities Exchange Index was down 1.74 points or 0.43% and closed at 403.81. Total trade volume was up with 74,588 shares changing hands at a total value of 340.67 million real or over $85,000. On the main board, two stocks were up. Leading the market was Grand Twins International, up 0.85% or 60 real to 7,140 real per share, followed by Sihanoukville Autonomous Port, which rose 0.50% or 60 real to 12,140 real per share. On the downside, Akleda Bank was the biggest loser of the day, dropping 1.74% or 120 real to 6,760 real per share, followed by Phnom Penh Water Supply Authority, which was down 0.32% or 20 real to 6,160 real per share. Phnom Penh Autonomous Port was also down 20 real to 13,500 real per share. Meanwhile, the remaining four stocks on the main board stayed flat. Over on the growth board, JS Land was up 0.73% or 20 real to 2,760 real per share, while DBD Engineering stayed flat at 2,040 real per share. Akleda Bank recorded the highest trade volume of the day with 33,281 shares changing hands at a total value of 226.6 million real or over $56,000, approximately 44.5% of the total trade volume on Monday. Royal Group Phnom Penh SEZ recorded the highest trade volume of the day with 31,097 shares changing hands at a total value of 63 million real or close to $16,000, about 42% of the total trade volume on October 13th. In other market news, Picasso City Garden Development PLC has opened its initial public offering subscription ahead of its planned listing on the Cambodia Securities Exchange Growth Board in November 2025. According to the CSX, the company will issue 10 million shares at 4,800 real or approximately $1.20 per share, offering investors a guaranteed annual dividend of 7% paid quarterly over the next 5 years. The subscription period runs from October 13th to 24th, 2025, with a minimum investment requirement of 100 shares. Interested investors can subscribe through their respective brokers. Proceeds from the IPO will be used to fund the development of the Picasso Sky Gem project and other upcoming real estate ventures, the company said in its announcement. Moving on to the exchange rate, the Khmer Real to USD weakened slightly to 4,020 real per US dollar, while the US dollar index was slightly down to 99.13. Looking at global commodities, oil prices rose on Monday after hitting 5-month lows in the previous session, as investors focused on potential talks between the presidents of the United States and China that could ease trade tensions between the world's two largest economies and oil consumers. Brent crude futures rose 94 cents or 1.5% to 63.67 US dollars a barrel. US West Texas Intermediate crude was at 59.81 US dollars a barrel, up 89 cents or 1.54%. Both contracts lost around 4% on Friday to settle at their lowest since May. Gold prices scaled to another record high as investors revved up their safe haven bets after U.S. President Donald Trump renewed tariff threats against China, while expectations of U.S. interest rate cuts added to the metal's allure. Silver also jumped to an all-time peak, tracking gold's rally. Spot gold was up 1.4% to 4,074.02 US dollars per ounce after hitting a record 4,078.05 US dollars per ounce. US gold futures for December delivery surged 2.3% to 4,093.50 US dollars. U.S. stocks surged before the bell on Monday, set to bounce back strongly from Friday's rout after President Trump hinted at a softening in stance in the escalating U.S. trade standoff with China. As of the time of the Cambodian market's closing, Dow Jones Industrial Average futures gained 1%, while contracts on the S&P 500 and Nasdaq 100 jumped roughly 1.4% and 1.9% respectively. This was Darshana Gauchan with your B2B Cambodia Market update for October 13th.